Hi guys, this is Lamin Sane of LSWAT, and here you're looking at my website, but that's not why we're here for this video. So basically, over the past years, I've been doing a lot of stuff to help me along the way in my programming career. So I'm a front-end developer, and you can see that as I say in my website here, and I've been I've been following some practices and guides to help me better myself as a programmer in general, and I wanted to share with you 7 tips that I think will help you become awesome at programming. Okay? Alright, so tip number 1. When you're starting out as a programmer, even if you've gone midway through your career and you're learning something new, just start with the basics. I mean, it is very tempting to just jump into the middle and start doing hardcore stuff and some advanced stuff. I mean, that might get you pretty far because there's a lot of scripts and tutorials on the web. But once you start doing custom work, because you didn't know the basics, that will not get you any far. So start with the basics. And on top of that, I'll say when you've gone a bit further into the basics, just know when to move on to advanced topics. Because you don't want to be going too far along with something very simple. Because when you get a job as well, the fact that you didn't know the basics might hurt you just as much as if you linger too much around the basics. So learn the basics first, then time yourself and know when to move on to the advanced stuff. All right. So tip number 2, be curious. And what I mean by that is just don't be content with what you know already, right? So if you, for example, are learning PHP and you see some headline like 7 PHP functions you can't live without, just click on it, just go in. You don't even have to read all of it. You can read just 1 or 2 tips, and that might help you out in the future somewhere. Or you can just do it the Twitter way, just read 160 characters of it. I mean, just be curious, want to know more. That drive will help you in your future. All right. And tip number 3, teach yourself how to identify what needs to get the job done. And basically what I mean by that is, once you've identified what you want to do, let's say you wanted to make a chat application. So basically, the first thing most people do is they just start writing code straight away. No. I mean, that's the fun part. We all know that. But first of all, what I do is I go to Google and I write stuff like how to write a chat application. And after a few hours or maybe even days, I spend days just, Googling around, reading books, and going on forums and trying to see what people are talking about. First of all, maybe you might want to see what language is better to write a chat app. I mean, basically you can write a chat app in many languages, but maybe you know PHP and you know a bit of Ruby. So people will say it's easier to do in Ruby, but even though you don't know Ruby, maybe it's better to use Ruby to do it than just plain old PHP, right? So that's just an example. Just try to be able to put yourself in this mode of being able to identify what you need. There's a lot that goes into making a chat application than just knowing a language. You gotta know architecture and scaling and all that stuff, and that comes with practice. But try to be able to practice how to know what you need to get the job done. All right. So tip number 4 is, after you've done all those stuff that I said above, build at least one thing or some things usable. And what I mean by that is, it doesn't have to be something like the next Facebook or Twitter or anything of these fancy, Fortune 500 companies. Basically, just for example, if you go to my YouTube channel, that you can find on my website, blog.laminsane.com, I have a bunch of tutorial videos that I've been doing lately, and it has some few videos about JavaScript templating and PHP stuff. So you can follow along with this to help you out, but just build something that you think is useful, even if it means a clock, a JavaScript clock that you can put on your website. Just make something. Trust me, once you've made your first really usable thing that other people can use, I mean, there's no stopping you from there. It's the world's your oyster once you've done that. All right. So just build one thing, and once you've done one, it never ends. You will want to build every day in your life. All right. And the next tip I want to give you is have your go-to resources. All right. There's nothing worse than a programmer not knowing where to get information about a problem. And I just want to share you one of the few places that I go to is NetTuts. Right? Since I started programming about 4 or 5 years ago, I didn't know about NetTuts. So I'd just go on Google and, endlessly. The whole day I spend it googling about random stuff. But this, this website is geared towards, web developers in general. And lately they've been, branching out and doing other stuff, that's outside of web development, and that's pretty good. It keeps you focused. And the other website that I like going to is web design. ML Webco. He's a independent freelancer, and he also works at CVS. And lately he's been starting to do podcasts. And they're pretty insightful. And he has a YouTube channel. If let me click on here and let's see what the name of his YouTube channel is.
Hey guys, Hey guys, what is up?
youtube.com/user/MLWebco. And trust me when I tell you, this guy has insightful ideas. He does. I mean, mainly he talks about design stuff, but some of it will apply to developers as well. So if you need some advice as to how to further your career or where to start, trust me, ML Webco. I mean, thank you, ML. I mean, you've been really great in helping me along the way. And all right, so the sixth advice that I want to give you is just stop and focus. Remember only the most important stuff. That's the sixth advice. Remember only the most important stuff. I just want to repeat it because the emphasis is never enough. And what I mean by that is, guys, there's a whole lot of stuff, when you're doing programming. There's too much stuff, if you want, if that's the word you want to use. So, don't think that you have to remember everything off your head. Even if you have to use books, sticky notes and, Evernote, that's a plugin for Google Chrome. Or even if you have a smartphone, there's an app for it. So let me just quickly Google that. So it's called Evernote, and it helps you write down stuff that you want to remember. So you don't have to use this. I mean, yes, it's very important, but what I'm trying to say is just put in here stuff that you don't want to keep in your head, because there's too much to remember, guys. And if you try to spend a lot of time remembering every PHP function, trust me, I have tried, but it doesn't work out as you expect it to. So yes, guys, just remember a few stuff that you think are really important and just keep going with that. Don't feel bad about having to refer to Evernote or some website, or a book for some function or some piece of information. All right, so that's my tip. Just remember the important stuff. And last but not the least, guys, enjoy what you do. If you follow every piece of advice in the world, as long as you don't enjoy what you do, at the end of the day you will end up regretting it. I think this should have been the most obvious thing in the world, but most people just get into programming, just for the sake of money. I mean, obviously we all want to make money. Yeah, we all want to drive in fancy cars, Lexus and all that. But at the end of the day, if you don't enjoy what you do, you're gonna end up miserable, guys. And for me, I do enjoy my programming. I mean, no matter what anyone says, I enjoy doing coding. So, but sometimes, I just want to relax and not that I don't want to do anything else, but programming in general makes me happy. So that's what I want to do. I don't know, maybe I might have a change of heart somewhere in the future, but as of now, that's what I want to do. Right? So there you have it, guys. 7 tips how to be awesome at programming. So if you think there's anything else that needs to be added, please comment below in the comments below on YouTube, or go to my website and I'll be writing a blog post soon on this topic exactly, and please send me comments there. And thanks for watching, guys. I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you hopefully in the next further videos coming. All right, thanks for watching. That's it. Bye bye.